Hey guys, as you can see here, we're trying to make some hay today, and we're in a field. It's a first year hay crop. It's divided into two halves, and unfortunately it just didn't get enough rain, and it's not coming very well. It's pretty low moisture here. May have said in some other videos we're only at 2.4 inches of rain all year so far, and this particular field just can't catch a break. It's missing all the storms, and it's not producing. So pretty unfortunate for a brand new field just coming out of a crop rotation. Freshly seeded last year, and we got a good catch, but it's just not coming. And so what we're doing here today is we've cut the field in order to clean it up. Obviously we do need some hay, but it's not going to contribute much to the big picture. But what we need to do is we need to clean up this field. We don't want all the trash left next year, so all this extra stubble and hay, well, what we're going to try and capture as hay this year, we don't want as dead grass and hay in next year's crop. So, you know, it'll affect the color, it'll affect the quality, and just doesn't make for as clean a field. So we don't want the brome grass as well going to seed and repopulating, because if we let it do that, the brome grass would become higher concentration here than what we would like. This field's been seeded at about 30% alfalfa, and about 20 to 25% brome, and the rest is timothy and orchard grass. I can't remember the exact blend. Probably no more than 10% timothy though. So anyway, we're trying to clean it up, and just already thinking about next year, which is pretty sad. We aren't even through this haying season or this farming season, and we're already thinking about next year, which I guess farmers have to be optimistic. And all we're trying to do is clean up this field so we have a fresh slate moving forward. We're running a Krone TC880 center delivery rotary rake, as well as an Enerossi 12-wheel wheeled rake here in the field at the same time. The reason we're doing that is obviously there's very little yield, very little tonnage coming off the field, so we are going to try and rake as much together as possible. When I woke up this morning, I definitely was not in the mood to be making a video today. I didn't think I was going to be making a video today. Kind of just a little bit grumpy, a little bit tired. There's been a few things in a few fields that haven't gone according to plan, and they've been making us work for this little bit of hay that we're going to be getting off these fields. So, you know, I just didn't think that today there was much to show you guys on YouTube. But something happened that I'm actually never going to forget. As I was finishing raking a field, there's a neighbor to this field that gave me a really nice wave in the morning when we were working there. I just waved back like neighbors do and should. I needed to run back to the yard and grab a tractor and another round baler so we could just hammer out a few more bales quicker. As I'm leaving, I'm driving by her place, going down this gravel road, and I see her coming out of the driveway, and she's walking quick as if she's gonna flag me down. And I said, oh, okay, I'm gonna get a chance to meet this lady. I've never met her before, obviously just waved over the fence. So I thought, you know what, that's great. Even though I'm in a hurry, it's always good to talk to your neighbors or meet somebody new. And she came out and she hopped up the ladder, and I opened the door for her, and we introduced ourselves, and that's when she changed my day. From being a grumpy guy, you know, my wife and daughter are away on a holiday, and I'm just wishing I was there with them, but I can't. I'm here haying today. She came up and introduced herself, and we started talking about how she's been watching all the farmers in the area, everyone's kind of struggling, yields are low, and she started mentioning some of the problems we've been having in this particular field beside her property. She noticed that we were picking up rocks in the round baler, and we had some slip clutch issues, and obviously we're crawling in over the pickup of these balers to fetch rocks out. We've never had rock issues in that field before, but this year, today, we were having rock issues. It's that rocks are everywhere, but for some reason today, the balers decided to pick them up, and we were having that issue. We also had a hailstorm come through the day before. The hay crop was cut, but it still got rain and hail. So, you know, we're double raking it. We're having to do all these extra steps, and obviously a little more aggravation on that property. This lady, her name's Linda, my new friend Linda. She told us how she noticed all the struggles we were having, and she had a heartfelt message. Said, "I feel for you farmers this year. My heart sinks watching you guys struggle. My heart sank when that hailstorm came in and the hay was already cut. Well, what was actually one of our better hay fields now got rained on. She saw us picking up the rocks and the baler. She saw us struggling. We were just fighting tooth and nail to get that field done today." As we're talking about it, she goes to hand me a wad of cash bills, and she said, "I know this won't fix all the problems and stresses that you have, but maybe it'll take the edge off. Maybe it'll put a little diesel in your tank." She says, "I know it's not much, but I'd like you to have this money." And I was completely floored by the gesture and taken off guard, because that was the last thing that I could have predicted happening to me today, was for somebody to just say, "You're not alone. I feel for you. Things will get better." I never thought that I would have been hearing that from a perfect stranger today, someone I had never met. The world's a funny place right now. Inflation's high, cost of living's high, everything's high. She felt motivated to hand over some of her hard-earned money. And obviously I'm trying not to accept it. I actually told her I appreciate the gesture. I told her that several different ways. I said how much I appreciated her thinking of farmers. She was adamant on me taking this money from her, and I fought tooth and nail to not take it. And I said, you know what might even do one better is a hug. So I crawled down the ladder of the tractor and we continued talking, and she gave me one of the biggest hugs a lady could give you. After she gave me that big hug, she threw those bills in the tractor. And it was a little bit windy out, and I was trying to scramble and contain these bills because I thought they were going to blow away. I grabbed them all out of the tractor, and I'm trying to give her back these bills, and she's hightailing it away and saying, "Nice to meet you. Thank you very much." She knew that if I got them in my hands, I'd be trying to give them back to her. She walked away and said, "We'll catch you later." I can't be more honored just to know that somebody was thinking of how hard of a day I might have been having. Very sincere thank you, Linda. You did not need to do that. That money's going to go to a good cause. I'm actually going to consider that karma, and we're going to try and pay this forward. Another field that we're small square baling today has a few extra bales of hay in it, but we're going to donate all that hay to the local 4-H club, and some of those kids will get the benefit of it. It's only a few hours now since that gesture happened, and we are already paying it forward. And you've now given me a memory I'm never going to forget. I'm never going to forget how kind you were today, to think of a farmer that might need a hand, or just know that somebody cares. So thank you very much, Linda. So we just moved from a very poor field to a marginally poor field. This one's a little bit better than the one we were just at. Well, we're gonna do another pass here with the rake. The first pass has been with the V rake, the wheel rake. It's picked up all the short grass and the small stems, and hopefully as much leaf matter as we can. And we're gonna merge two together with the rotary rake. This new Krone TC880 is working really well for us so far this year, because in such fragile, dry conditions, you know, we're always worried about leaf loss, because leaf loss is nutrition and weight But the nice thing about, or that we're really liking about this rake, is when merging or even just raking in general, these tines have a hook at the bottom, and the crone is, we're finding, is doing a really good job of lifting the crop as it carries it around. So a lot of other rakes have a straight tine and they seem to drag the hay across the stubble, but we're super happy with how the crone seems to be carrying it across and windrowing it in the center. So let's get started here. Well, thanks for spending the day with me today, even though we weren't planning on doing much from a video perspective on these poor fields. I may have been a little grumpy this morning and not wanting a video, and when my day got turned around, thanks to my new friend Linda, still in a marginally poor field, but at least I'm going to finish the day with a smile on my face after what happened there. It's just really nice to know that friends, your family, and sometimes a perfect stranger have your back. It's a little more comforting when, you know what, you're having a bad day, you just know that people have your back. So thanks for this impromptu video and watching, and if we can spread any positivity in the world, even to a perfect stranger, it's worth the effort. Let's be kind.